Hey everybody, it's Nicole here, as usual, and I'm back with the third out of 4 book reviews. It's kind of an interesting one, Days of Grace by Kathryn Hall. This book is definitely different from what I usually go for. I think I kind of just looked at the book flap vaguely and just grabbed it. So basically, Days of Grace is about this woman, Nora, and she's older now, and she's getting towards the end of her life, and as she gets towards the end of her life, she meets this girl, Rose, who's this young girl who's pregnant on her own, and they start to form a friendship. And as she forms a friendship with Rose, it brings her back in time to during the war when she first met her friend Grace. And she met Grace because she lived in London and she was sent out to the country. A lot of London's children were sent out to the country at the time. And Grace's family lived out in the country and decided to take a child in as a refugee. And Grace saw Nora, and their birthdays were a few days apart. They were the same age, and Grace just wanted her in the family. So they took her home, and they began to foster her during the war. And Nora talks about her life and how she lives with a pastor's family, and it's very confusing for her because the pastor's married, and in her religion, like, you pastors or the priests don't get married. So she begins to adjust to that, and she fits in with the family, and she starts, having fun with Grace. And Grace is a total wild child. She wants to do things that are dangerous and crazy and fun, and she thinks her parents don't care about her. So she's just very happy that she has Nora. And Nora, on the other hand, she's very need to follow the rules, like need to do this. And as she stays with the family, she begins to learn things and secrets about them that make her uneasy. And after a certain amount of time, there's just a breaking point for her, and she feels the need to go back to London. And Grace demands to be taken with her. And Nora doesn't want to take Grace because she feels that it's not safe for her, and, Nora's the one that actually lived in London, but she ends up taking Grace back anyways, and things kind of end up going downhill when they get to London. They meet a man, and it just goes downhill from there. So they're flashing back and forth between Nora being older and talking to Rose and thinking about Rose's life, and then thinking about Grace's life, and the events start to connect, and she sees things. And also a big part of it is that Nora never identifies herself, probably because she doesn't know about the identification that she could have. But you see very clearly that she is in love, like true love with Grace, and she loves her. And Grace kind of, I think, gets that, but she never comments on it. She just kind of uses it at times to her advantage, which isn't cool, but, they're young girls. And Nora's love for Grace also plays a big factor, and her religion, and she's very torn in life, and it's a lot going on. And when she starts to remember these things, and then as her health decreases, she starts to lash out, and then she thinks back, and it's kind of a thing where she's never told anyone. We find out that she does have a husband at one point in her life, so she never really says anything to anybody until she has to come to the idea of, should she tell Rose about this and kind of clear her conscience before she dies. So it's very interesting. Some parts of the book are longer than others. It's not like something I would kill to read or anything, or something that I really, really want to read, but it is a good book. So you can definitely check it out, Days of Grace by Kathryn Hall. It's very interesting if you're interested in, like, historical fiction of the World War II era, what it was like to live in that time. It's different religion, and of course figuring out who you are is a big part of it too. So definitely check it out, Days of Grace by Kathryn Hall. Last book review of the day coming up right now. Stay tuned. Okay, bye guys.